1 year down to LA. I don't know if it might be 2 more years, 3 more years, 4 more years, whatever, wherever God might see myself. But I decided to make this video because a lot of people always ask me, why did I move from Maryland to LA? How was LA treating me? Was it easy? People who seen the struggle, whatever. But I just wanted to take you a little bit back on what made me get to where I'm at and where I'm actually working towards, because I'm not finished. I feel like I'm just getting started. So I started off hosting go-go's. You know, go-go is a genre in the DMV area. It's a sound. It's the live instruments. It's the singing for me. It's just the everything. Started off doing that. Went to Towson, created a radio show called Let's Bake Radio. Shout out to Celeste and Jasmine, who were my co-hosts at the time. And I used to text everybody I knew at Towson, Morgan, tune in to the Let's Bake Radio Show each and every Thursday, 8 p.m., you know, whatever. Started off doing phone interviews, which I was so trash at. Then from there, I did in-person interviews, and one of the interviews I done, it got picked up with Hot New Hip Hop, so I decided to reach out, asking them, did they need a correspondent in the DMV area? They was like, yeah, we'll pay you this much, which, you know, it wasn't a lot, but I had to realize I wanted to continue to build a name for myself. Like, I'm looking at, you know, names as Big Tigger and Terrence J and all these other personalities and radio personalities that I grew up on, like DJ Flex and Easy Street. And I did that, you know. I got with Hot New Hip Hop 2014, 2017. I'm interviewing artists that I would have never thought that I would ever interview. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, it wasn't easy, man. Reaching out to these labels and people telling me no, or me and my cameraman Marcel. Shout out to Cell, because Cell was there from the beginning to the end of Hot New Hip Hop. Whether if it was not being able to get in the show, managers wouldn't answer the phone, wouldn't text me back, waiting 2-3 hours after a concert just to get an interview. To me, it was just a grind. It was just a hustle at that point in time. And, you know, I wanted to keep going to build a name for myself. So, left Hot New Hip Hop 2017, got with Dash Radio. I started a radio show, and then from there, I'm like, I still want to be able to interview artists, but it was hard to get an artist to come to DC, or it was hard for artists that's in DC at the time just to come to a platform that really doesn't have a name, you know, to them in that opinion, to actually do an interview, you know? So you have to like keep building yourself up. And I decided to curate something called Instagram Live Interviews in 2018, and from there, like, it took off. And you know, now everybody doing Instagram Live interviews, but still at that point, I'm working a 9 to 5. I'm not making money doing my passion, and like my goal is full time. At this point, it's like, bro, 27, it's either make this move to LA that you've been dying to make for 5 years, or just let that Buzy Baker name just fade away. And it's Buzy Baker, not Busy Baker, for people that call me Busy, you know what I'm saying, because you got the Z. But yeah, man, it wasn't easy. You know, I just was sitting at a desk every day, just applying to jobs in LA, just waiting for my moment. And I had to figure out, you know, just to quit this job, a good paying job at that, just to live out my dreams, man. I always told myself I didn't want to, everybody's stories are different. Like, I didn't want to be on no dollar in the dream type of situation. I saved up, had a roommate at that time, came to LA with a roommate, you know, and I got a job, thank God, a week after that with Spotify, which was a dope experience, man. But it was like I was working part-time, and working part-time at LA is not it when you gotta pay rent. And I shipped my car out here, so I started doing Instacart. I was getting the money, but it still wasn't enough for me. So I'm like still trying to create content while working at Spotify. Then I wasn't working at a department that I wanted to, so I'm still trying to build relationships within the company so that I can possibly get to wherever I want to get, you know? So I had to quit that because I needed a full-time job. I got offered a full-time position at this company. And the day that I was supposed to start is the day that they shut down. with this whole pandemic, panorama, COVID situation. And I was unemployed from March until June. And thank God from a situation from somebody I knew who used to work from another company. I met them at the Revolt Summit in October. And they introduced me to somebody at the Shade Room and asked, was I interested in working there? This was in October 2019. In June 2020, that's when I actually started working with the Shade Room, because they hit me up in May and I got the position, man. And you know, ever since then, just doing the Instagram live interviews. It's been real, it's been love. Like, I got my car shipped out here and my car got totaled in a hit and run. Then I bought a new car last year and it got involved in a hit and run when it was a park, but this time I was able to figure out the person who did it, so that's all cool. But it's just all these certain situations and where I'm at now, I just want you to know, and anybody else who is making the transition and trying to move, or you know, just trying to figure out what next steps to do, I'm gonna tell you one thing. At the end of the day, whatever you want to do in life, make sure you do it for yourself. Don't do it for the people in your ear. Don't do it for your family. Don't do it for your friends, because you're going to have people that try to tell you, oh no, maybe you should, or maybe you should. No. Don't live your life thinking, yo, what if I would have did this?